This is the case of Avril's comeback. We are the Earplugs Rock Clinic, and we're going to walk you through our case study of one Avril Lavigne. Avril is 37 years old. She's female. Her background is that she's been performing since she was in her 20s. She took a break, but now she's trying to release a comeback album. But when trying to record this new album, she had trouble hearing her higher notes as she sang. She came to the audiologist at our clinic looking for a solution to this problem, but is very against getting hearing aids because she feels they're not right for her image. She reported not being able to hear notes in the upper register. She's been experiencing this hearing loss in both ears for the past 6 months. Her current complaints are ringing in both ears, trouble hearing in both ears, especially at higher frequencies. In terms of her otoscopy, she has normal otoscopy results in both ears, suggesting normal outer and middle ear function, with no visible cloudiness of the tympanic membrane and no detectable perforations. She has visible cones of light in both ears. Based on these results, we are not expecting conductive hearing loss, but we will continue to do tests to find out. We decided to conduct an OAE test as the lesion appears to be in the inner ear. Because her otoscopy results were good and her complaints and background point to possible noise-induced hearing loss, we are expecting possible lesion in the inner ear. Because the OAE is able to objectively test the outer hair cell function and indicate possible problems in the inner ear, this is the perfect test for us to run for her. In the right ear, there were present OAEs at 0.5,000, 1,000, 2,000, and 6,000 hertz, and absent OAEs at 3,000 and 4,000 hertz. And the results were the same in the left ear. This suggests that bilaterally, the inner hair cells are not functioning properly at 3,000 and 4,000 hertz. We ran the standard audiogram to hopefully confirm our suspicion that Avril might be suffering from sensorineural hearing loss due to a lesion in the inner ear. The audiogram was measured using insert headphones, and the response method was hand raising by the patient. The audiogram displays bilaterally normal hearing from 500 to 2,000 hertz with a noise notch displaying moderate hearing loss at 3,000 hertz and 4,000 hertz, returning to mild hearing loss at 6,000 and 8,000 hertz. The noise notch suggests noise-induced hearing loss instead of high-frequency hearing loss, as the noise notch is a common characteristic of noise-induced hearing loss. Along with the otoscopy and lack of air-bone gap in the audiogram, we can rule out conductive hearing loss, and because of Avril's background and case history, she is likely to be at risk for noise-induced hearing loss. Her speech results showed normal hearing up to 4,000 hertz and then mild to moderate hearing loss. Because she has overall normal hearing, she's able to hear the words in the word recognition test quite well and has good scores. Because Avril only has mild to moderate hearing loss at the highest frequencies, she is probably only having trouble with quiet, high-frequency speech sounds such as s, sh, f, t, th, k. Since the test has normal scores, we can conclude that the lesion is not retrocochlear. Her results on a graph would plateau instead of showing rollover. And we know that rollover indicates a retrocochlear disorder. But because her results just plateau, that confirms that we are looking at an inner ear disorder. So ultimately, our diagnosis is noise-induced hearing loss, which is a type of sensory neural hearing loss. And it's bilateral. We know she's had a frequent exposure to extremely loud noises for many years. And we know that this history of noise exposure is a common cause of noise-induced hearing loss. We know this to be a type of sensory neural hearing loss, which is confirmed in the audiogram and speech test results. And ultimately, the most significant case study detail is the characteristic noise notch on the audiogram around 4,000 hertz, which is specific to noise-induced hearing loss. We have various recommendations for Avril because she is resistant to the idea of getting hearing aids. We are mainly looking at preventative measures, although we are advising her to come in for annual hearing exams, and if her hearing worsens, we may revisit the idea of hearing aids. But for the time being, we're recommending that she listens to music and watches television at lower volumes, possibly using subtitles for TV. We advise her to wear high-quality earplugs, such as high-fidelity earplugs, that will help her not have sound feel muffled, but also protect her ears. We are also recommending an antioxidant-rich diet because there are molecules called free radicals, which are triggered by high volume and cause damage to the cochlea. They cause outer hair cell death and oxidative damage. Antioxidants are found in colorful, vitamin-rich fruits and vegetables and help protect against the oxidative effects of free radicals. If Avril eats enough antioxidant-rich foods or supplements within hours of high levels of noise exposure, hearing loss can be prevented or reduced. So this is not this is just an extra measure that she should take, but she should still be lowering the volume and using earplugs in tandem with an antioxidant-rich diet. We also recommend counseling about good communication strategies so she can practice skills such as facing people when they speak, so she can read a person's expressions and body language, turning off background noise when she's trying to have a conversation like TV or music, or at a restaurant asking to be seated as far away from other people or the kitchen as possible, and also repeating information back to people when she's having a conversation, or asking for them in written form so she doesn't miss important details. So at the moment, our ultimate diagnosis is noise-induced hearing loss, and those are preventative recommendations, and we hope that she will take this seriously because we're rooting for her to have a big comeback.